Yeah, this is On Fire for Yah, and just doing a video today about something that I seen the other day about an author by the name of Brad Meltzer. He has wrote a new book called The First Conspiracy. The First Conspiracy. Here it is right there. We talked about it on CBS This Morning last week. And it's interesting because Brad Meltzer had a TV show called, what was it called? It was on the History Channel, and it was called Decoding, like Statue of Liberty, decoding different things on the History Channel. And you know, he comes out this book about George Washington that we know was part of Freemasonry. We know that he was definitely somebody and someone that was working with all the elites. He was an elite, but yet Brad Meltzer decides to do this book that talks about this first conspiracy, and the story is about people that were guarding him at the time, that they were going to kill him and assassinate him, and how it was all stopped. It's very, very interesting on what he has to say, but yet don't buy it, because I know I don't. And we'll just go over here and we'll listen to some of this interview he does on CBS This Morning.
Signing of the Declaration of Independence, and with British troops about to invade New York City. The plot connects counterfeiters, leading New York politicians, and even the future president's own bodyguards. Brad Meltzer is here first on CBS This Morning. Good morning.
Good to see you.
How did you find this story?
You know, I found this story in the place where all the best stories are found, which is in the footnotes. And when I saw it, I was like, is this true? A plot to kill George Washington that no one knows about? And it was true.
This is Joseph Ellis, who's the Pulitzer Prize-winning biographer.
Yeah, I went to him and I said, you know, did this really happen? And it really happened. When it happened, George Washington rounded up those responsible. He took one of the main conspirators and he hung him in front of 20,000 people, the largest public.
Now, some of this is very true. I believe that George Washington, if anybody was to know there was a plot against him, it would be him, because he was a master at covert operations, and he, you know, was very, very secretive on what he was doing when he was trying to quote unquote fight the British and win the war of independence against the British. So it's very possible that he knew what was going on and he could read and decode what was going around him and definitely stop it from happening.
Public execution at that point in North American history. He brought the hammer down, was like, I'm George Washington.
He was mad, Brad.
I'm going to be on the money one day, right?
Why did this story go secret when fake stories about Washington, like cutting down the cherry tree, which is apocryphal, were nevertheless ones that lived on?
And listen, the hanging happened on June 28, 1776. Guess what was happening in the world?
Wow.
The Declaration of Independence is coming. The British are literally there. And this gets lost to it. But it's the most amazing moment because George Washington at the time had his own private bodyguards. And he asked his regiments for the 4 best men that they could find. He wanted the best of the best. And these were the men who turned on him. They were called the lifeguards because they guarded George Washington's life. And I don't care how strong you are. When your inner circle turns on you, it is devastating.
It had to hurt his feelings. You even write that he never talked about how he felt and how he found out about it. But you said it must have really hurt his soul.
Yeah, because listen, this is the closest, your nearest and dearest, right? His personal lifeguards are the ones who turn on him.
And the housekeeper, you said, might have been a...
Right.
That's
he
another
has his
little
own
wrinkle
housekeeper who's
there.
living in his house, and she disappears in the middle of the night, and it truly becomes a mystery. But what George Washington does is he immediately launches a secret committee to figure out what's happening. He calls it the greatest name of all, the Committee on Conspiracies.
The Committee on Conspiracies. Now this is where a big, big red flag goes up in my mind, because I believe that Brad weaves in some truths with a lot of disinformation. And no doubt about it that it's a real possibility that George Washington could have been assassinated or could have been taken out, because we know that these people that are part of these societies, they try to one-up each other, they try to outdo each other, and that's a real possibility. We call it the Committee on Conspiracies. Come on, Brad, come on. I'm not buying it. Not buying it one bit that George Washington would call it that. And for you to put this out in your book, that's just ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous. It's like, counterintuitive to say that, and this book is about the first conspiracy. I mean, I never heard of this conspiracy until you came up with it. And if you're out there and you've heard of this, please comment in the comment section below and let me know. But otherwise, this is really, really new information that Brad's, going to make a killing off, I'm sure, a killing.
And with John Jay leading the charge, and this is, John Jay is the fourth Supreme Court Justice, he puts into motion interrogations, kicking in doors, and to this day, we all think of the CIA, the precursor being the OSS. It's actually this moment. To this day, in Secret Service headquarters, in CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, there's a room dedicated to John Jay, the father of counterintelligence. So it's not just the secret plot to kill George Washington. What you see in the book is you really see the birth of the counterintelligence movement in the United States.
Why did they want to kill him?
Yeah.
Why did they want to kill him?
Listen, he was the man in charge. And what I love about it is you get to see George Washington's character.
Yeah.
When George Washington, there's a scene in the Battle of Brooklyn, and he's totally pinned against the wall. He should give up at that moment, and instead he plans a daring escape. And what he does is he commandeers all the boats on the East River. But here's the key moment. He won't get in the boats until all his men get in first.
Yeah.
And his men see what he's doing. He's risking his life for them. And so, again, what you see is not just the plot against George Washington. You see the depth of his character, and we need that in our leaders today. We need to see, George Washington brought this country together. There wasn't a United States. He brought it together by putting his arms around it and saying to his own regiments, don't fight with each other, don't argue with each other. We need to be on the same team. That's where we are today.
All right, build the presidency on that character. Thank you,
Yes.
Brad Meltzer. The first conspiracy, the secret plot to kill George Washington, is available today. Your song.
And if you didn't notice, the all-seeing eye is right here, and it's right here, and it was behind Brad. The all-seeing eye is always watching what's going on. Right there, see it? The big old eyeball. The all-seeing eye represents Hasatan and his system of this one world order, this new world order, and everything else that's going on in this world is definitely a reality they're trying to create, and the reality they're trying to manipulate, and the reality they're trying to change for you and I and everybody, this flat plane we call Earth. And decoding the past, right? I mean, decoding the past. You go through some of these here, and he talks about D.B. Cooper heist and the hidden Illuminati symbolism of the Statue of Liberty and the Bohemian Grove. Well, wait, actually, no, that's somebody else. But anyways, I mean, even the Bohemian Grove. I mean, my goodness, that's a whole new subject. But how could somebody by the name of Alex Jones get in there and do what he did? Or quote unquote do what he did and not get caught. Not get caught at all whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, this whole idea that they're going to tell us what has been going on in our history is definitely not legit. I mean, they've never been legit. They always are going to hide the truth, just like Hasatan. He's he's very, very, very cunning and very wise. Don't be fooled. This is not the first conspiracy. In fact, the first conspiracy happened back in the garden, Gan Eden, where Hasatan, or Gadrael as Enoch calls it, deceived Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of the fruit of the knowledge of tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That was the first conspiracy, and he's been on a warpath ever since. And folks out there, don't believe it. It's a lie of the prefabricated world we know today. And don't get caught up in it. Don't buy Brad and his book for 1 minute. This is On Fire for Yah. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and shalom, shalom.